Hi guys, just a little video today. A viewer requested to see how I do my glossy accents, how I lay it down on the page. So I've got two different pictures here today to show two different versions of the things I do. You guys, if you watch my channel, know excuse me, if I ever colour in the Jade Summer books, I always do the eyes with a pencil and then a glossy accent top layer. I didn't have one of those pictures coloured already, but I do have this one. I have Hannah Lynn's Enchanted Faces. It's the same paper, the Amazon paper, and I'm going to show you what I would do when I'm laying glossy accents over the top of my finished page. She's not quite completed, but I'll let it dry the same amount of time and then finish my page. For small areas, I use this little bottle that I have. This is the Ranger Glossy Accents. It's acid-free, non-toxic, clear, dimensional, medium. This is the little 5 fluid ounce or 18ml bottle, and I got mine from Amazon UK. And there is a little trick to this, surprisingly enough, and over the amount of time that I've used these now, I have learned how to get the best result for them. So I can see why someone would want a demo, because these just don't turn out right without the bits that you learn along the way. So with the glossy accent, once you start, you need to keep the pressure on. Always remove the first drop because it'll have air bubbles in. And once you've done so, keep a little bit of pressure and do not let go. Get it on the page. Keep squeezing ever so slightly as you go. Get it all laid down, because the minute you release the pressure, it's going to drop an air bubble into your liquid. So get all your glossy accents down in the thick layer that you need. Lift it off and then let go, because as it drops back into the bottle, you'll get a little drop of air, and that would deposit on your page, I've learned over time. So you can see the little bits, maybe not, but there's little bubbles where I've removed that first bit of excess. It will go on kind of a milky colour, and don't worry about that, it will dry completely clear. Another thing, go put that somewhere. No one's going to put anything on it because I've done that. No one's going to close your book because I've done that, and not at an angle. The thing with this is, if you leave it like this and you've put a thick layer on the page, it will roll down your page, and you'll come back and it will have set not where you placed it, not where you wanted it. So it needs to be completely flat, open, and somewhere safe where no one's going to put something on it. And I leave that for a full 24 hours. So I won't finish this page now until later tomorrow. So you sit that. I'm now going to not listen to my own advice and put it on the side for the video, and probably put something on it later, knowing my luck. The other example I've got, I wanted to show you something a little bit bigger, because sometimes we are going to want to do those bigger projects. I'm going to pop my lid onto this before it starts to set and causes me other problems. And I'm going to move my things around. So I've recently finished a picture in Clara Markova's Fairy Celebrations, and if I can get it on, yep, there we go. I've got this little glass vial here that I want to make look like glass. I'm going to make it glossy. So what I also have more recently for these bigger projects is the exact same thing, the Ranger Glossy Accents, but I bought myself a bigger bottle. I bought the 2 fluid ounces or 59ml, also from Amazon UK. And to be honest, I've had this little one for quite some time. I use it on an awful lot of eyes, and it's still half full. So, you know, it will go a ways. So how much you need it, I don't know. But if you're doing a bigger item, if any of you guys saw my Worlds of Wonder page, the big globe picture that you've got. I put glossy accents over that, and I can't show you properly because I can't lie it, but I'm going to pop my finger on how full my bottle is now, and this is actually already how much I've used. So it's already lying down here. Whereas doing little eyes, half a bottle, I've had this almost 12 months, about 9-10 months. And one picture on a big item, I went through this much. So I would have finished my bottle off, and that's why I added this. So just so you know, small projects, if you're only ever going to do little dots, little eyes, that sort of thing, this one will be fine. But if you are going to be working on larger pieces, you're probably going to want this one. So same things apply. I want a little bit of paper. Did I plan well? Here we go. So I do exactly the same. I turn my bottle upside down. I squeeze my bottle to get the accents going. Oh, have I made a mistake and let this set in my tube? I think you're going to get another little, what's the word? Tutorial on don't let your glossy accents set into the bottle. I've just kind of picked it off the end. Let's see if we got enough of it out of the tube, or are we going to have to cut the end off? It's possible. If you had a pin, you would be able to sort it out that way. Of course, I'm just not that well organised, guys. I'm going to need a tiny pair of scissors. I'll try and clean the end out first, see if that will fix it, because obviously you don't want to have to do this very often. If you have to keep cutting off the end, eventually you're going to lose that thin piece of nozzle. Now I'm going to have to cut a little bit off. Well, this turned into a what not to do sort of video, didn't it, guys? Bear with me. I'm doing some DIY off camera. Why do mine never go as planned? Real life. Because it's real life. That's why. Right. Now, when you're squeezing this, go well away from anything, because obviously 50-50 chance you're going to have a major accident and it's not going to work properly. Okay. Oh, I don't know. Right, we got life working again. So don't leave the lids off, don't let stuff dry. It's not a good idea. So we squeeze the first little blob off, and then we keep the, you can see that I'm squeezing this bottle. I'm not releasing the pressure, and I'm just slowly moving that, using my nozzle, just manipulating that onto the parts of the page that I want it to be. Trying not to stay in place too long, because obviously I am constantly squeezing glossy accents out of that tube, and the more you're sat in that spot, the more there is going to be sat on your page. You want to make sure you've got it everywhere you need it, all the way to the edges as best you can, and then you can flatten some of that out and push it around. It is where it will buckle your page, so obviously a one-sided page is better really for ease of not having to deal with this on the back page. And you just keep on going. I've never let up the pressure at any point, done it all as one piece. Just moving it in the liquid without lifting it when I've needed to go somewhere else. And then I'm lifting that off the page. I'm going to put my lid on. What you will notice with this larger bottle that I did forget to say, with the with the Ranger bottles. There's no kind of, you know, that little, some bottles have that little piece in the lid that sits inside the tube to keep everything from drying out inside there. So you are going to want some kind of a tool for unblocking these issues rather than cutting your lid off, and slowly over time. For the best maintenance and care with these, you would want a tissue, and you would want to, not with your fingers like I just did, but you would want to clean all the excess from that tip. Even push it while it's wet, get it out of the top, and then get your lid back on. This is not the kind of item that is going to kind of stay workable in that little nozzle for long periods of time. So if you know you're hardly ever going to use hardly any of this, a bigger bottle's not an investment, because it's not the sort of thing that you can come back to in a couple of years and it's just going to work just fine without having to cut the top off it. Right, so we have our very thick gloopy glass item created. Again, you've got this milky texture, and because it's a bigger piece, it inevitably ends up a thicker layer. You do not want to be rolling that around, lifting it up. Keep it flat somewhere, keep it safe, don't put it anywhere somebody you know is going to put anything on it. Don't lean on it. That needs a full, for me to be honest, I'd leave that for 2 days. I would leave that for 48 hours until it is absolutely tappable, rock hard. For the sake of it, you don't do it until you've completely finished your page, because, well, it just saves any accidents, because you know you can't come back to it for quite some time. So if you wanted to carry on with your colouring, it can be extremely irritating. But also, it really is what you call a finishing accent. It needs to go on last after everything else. And don't panic at all. That will be completely clear, not the milky texture that it looks like when it goes on. I do have also the black and white versions of this from Ranger. I recently got the crackle version, so you'll get a glass finish, but it'll look cracked when it dries. I haven't played with that one yet, because obviously it's didn't seem appropriate for eyeballs, so I'm just trying to find a picture that it will be useful on. But I have also heard from a lovely viewer that's now made me want to buy the other bottle that they do a matte accent as well, that would give you a matte dimensional finish. So I haven't actually myself seen that one, so I may have to look it up and maybe get that one as well. As always, guys, I really hope this was useful for you and it's helped with some of the issues that you've been finding if you use this product yourself, or if it's just a new product to you that seems quite intriguing for your colouring pages. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. If you like the channel, please subscribe, you know, blah blah, all the usual stuff. But apart from that, I'm so thankful that you watch the videos of me, you know, not being able to get the lid off things. I do really appreciate it. These always seem very haphazard, but I promise you guys a lot more time and effort goes into this channel than it appears. And I will see you in the next video. Thank you.